Hey there, Aaron. Good morning. It's Jay Obertans at Rorick Mazda. So I wanted to thank you again for not only your time and consideration, but the opportunity. It really means a lot. I always laugh because I have a master's degree in clinical nutrition, yet here I am following my grandpap's footsteps back in the car business. So one thing I wanted to do I thought would be very helpful is make you a video of the vehicle that you were looking at as well as the other one, so that way you kind of have a proper comparison of both the Touring and Grand Touring trim level. Now, believe it or not, this one is the deep crystal blue. Unfortunately, there's no sunlight really hitting it and it's a little bit dirty, but that's kind of what you get for getting off the truck here from Japan. So running through a few things. Now, this trim level, I will say, is going to be the most popular, mainly as the SV package stands for special value. It was designed new for 2021 because the CX30 was cutting into too much market share of the CX5, so they added more features and kept the price the same. So one, you'll see your 17-inch alloy wheels. You do have standard LED lights, so like those very bright piercing blue lights on some like BMW, Lexus products. Now, if you follow up to the front emblem, it's huge and fake. And the reason why that is a cover is all of your radar and sonar lays behind there and communicates with that big camera up on the windshield. So the vehicle does have Mazda's safety suite of collision avoidance, auto braking, pedestrian and cyclist detection, headlights that can use high and low beams automatically. It will alert you if you're drifting out of your lane and actually correct the steering to take you back into your lane. Same thing with even radar cruise control, and a scary one that's pretty cool is called traffic jam assistance. These vehicles can drive themselves in traffic. Now, of course, you'll have blind spot monitoring, which is probably the most important safety feature for the Pittsburgh area. So you'll have these little indicators that will light up in the side mirrors, and if you're part of the 2% of Pittsburgh that uses a turn signal, they will beep at you. Now, on the outside, you'll notice these little buttons on the door handle because the advanced key is standard. So as long as you have the key in your pocket or a bag, you can just walk up and hit that button here. Now, interior-wise, this is really kind of going to be a dramatic departure. And the reason why is Mazda is really pushing up market. They want to compete a little bit more towards the Acura RDX than they do like a Honda CR-V or a Toyota RAV4. So new for 21, you have the full leather out of the Grand Touring with accented stitching. It is going to be 8-way power with lumbar and memory, as well as a power passenger seat. In this package for the preferred SV, you'll also see your Bose stereo system. Everything is branded Bose. You'll have your sunroof, your auto-dimming mirror with the HomeLink or garage doors around there, as well as your power liftgate here. Now, the power liftgate is height programmable, just something to bear in mind depending upon where you park at. It also looks like this particular one came with all-weather mats from the factory. Now, in terms of rear accommodations, before I touch just a little bit more on the front, you will see that you're going to have vents back to the rear, and if I fold down this little armrest and lift it up, Mazda did conveniently tuck in 2 USB ports for your back passengers. Now, of course, you'll have things like backup camera. Connected services is new for 2021. So there's an app that you download and you can remote start, lock, unlock, check status, check fuel, everything, all from your cell phone. Now, new for 2021, I gotta keep learning how to say that. You know, I guess everyone's still stuck in 2020, aka hell, but you have a 10.5-inch screen across the dash, all gonna be controlled very BMW style on that joystick down behind the gear shifter. And of course, you'll have things like heated seats, dual climate system. There's some of your buttons for your radar cruise. You'll even notice a little auto tab there on your wipers because you have rain sense wipers. So again, I could spend a lot of time kind of going on and on and on. There's just a lot of features, but I don't want to have you sitting and watching a YouTube novel I'm making. One thing I am going to have you pay attention to is you'll notice across the dash you have a lot of brushed aluminum. So I am going to run over to the Grand Touring level. So that way when you look at the lease price difference, you'll be able to pinpoint, okay, what am I getting for paying more going to a Grand Touring? So walking over to the Grand Touring, I just want you to look at this red one for a second. This red one has the Touring wheels. Those are your Grand Touring wheels in the corner. You do step up from a 17 into a 19-inch wheel. Now, kind of going after a little bit more of that sort of luxury market, you have what they call designer-style head and tail lights. So your tail lights, rather than just being one LED light, these are going to be like multiple bars and kind of circles, very halo-like of what you would see on kind of like a cool Audi or something. Same way running up to the headlight, you'll notice there's a little bar, a circle, and another bar. That is going to be your daytime running light, which again is a little bit fancier, as well as the addition of fog lights. Now, speaking of more lighting, the lights in the Grand Touring have adaptive capabilities. It means that they can move left and right as you turn your steering wheel. So to recap, your exterior differences are fog lights, fancier looking headlights, fancier looking taillights, and lights that now bend left to right. Now, if we move into the interior here, you'll notice it's not a dramatic departure over the Touring. Everything is pretty much the same, except now you'll see, rather than that brushed aluminum I pointed out, you have an ash wood. So let me just peel this back a little bit. And then you'll see down here you have a little bit more leather that's hand-stitched, and they do a little bit more hand-stitched leather up around the gear console. Now, the last piece of the puzzle, you're going to notice that speedometer kind of right there in the center is digital. And you have satellite radio. So to recap everything on the interior, you have different trim, a little bit more leather to again bring it upscale, and you have a digital speedometer and satellite radio. So to recap the 8 differences, because 4 are on the outside, 4 are on the inside, you have larger wheels, fancier headlights and taillights, fog lights, lights that move left to right on the interior, you have different trim, you have a little bit more leather kind of stitched around, you have XM satellite radio and that digital gauge cluster, and those are the only differences between this and that Touring I just showed you. So I really appreciate the opportunity, Aaron. I'm going to upload this video, and I look forward to hearing back. Thanks again.